Hi, I'm Steven. That's John. We're from Just Got Played, and we are counting down MrX's top 25 games of all time. So, this is the 7th annual version of this list. And essentially, what we do is we collect top 50 lists from a bunch of people. I use an algorithm to combine those, and I spit out this aggregated top 25 list. If you want more details than that, you can go and watch the first video from this year where I talk about it a little more. But today is December 11th, which means we are talking about game number 15 on the list. We've talked about pretty games before, but I've heard of this game mentioned many times when people talk about pretty games. So, John, why don't you tell me a little bit about Abyss?
Sure. So Abyss it's a little interesting. It's a push your luck game at its core. And then you're using the resources you got during the push your luck phase to play Lord characters that give you special abilities. And once somebody's got enough Lords, the game ends and whoever has the most points wins. It's really hard to describe it less ephemeral than that because you're going fishing essentially. And as you're fishing up, you'll say, hey, there's a red 3 here. And then everyone gets a chance to go around the table and bid for it. If nobody does bid on it and take it, you as the person going fishing get a chance to take it. If you do, your expedition's over. If not, you keep going. But you're using these different color cards with different strength values on them to be able to purchase the lords. So it is a very strategic game of trying to get the most color/power combos you can to meet the requirements of the lords to get their special abilities to be able to affect the game even further. So it is very decent amount of player interaction with a push your luck element to it that's in a strategy game. And when you talk about push your luck and strategy game, that's when I start leaving the table because that's a very tough combination to pull off. However, Abyss does it, and it does it really well. There is no theme to this game that I could ever possibly tell you other than underwater something, but the artwork carries it so much. It is a beautiful looking game. The lords themselves are on really large print cards with really nice card stock. It looks amazing. The mechanics are really fun and interesting. It's a game that shouldn't work, but it's a game that absolutely does work.
So, as we talk about these top 25 games, I've played all of these games, sort of. There's one coming up that I haven't played. And this one, it's hard to say that I've actually played it. So you mentioned that it's a bidding game. So somebody taught me the game, but they did the whole, here's the broad strokes thing, and we'll just teach it as you go along. But like push your luck and bidding, like you kind of need to understand the game to, well, that's not the kind of thing where you teach it as you go along, right? So
You have to efficiently use your resources, and if you don't know the cadence of the game, you can't do that. So if someone did that for a very first game, I could see someone really not enjoying this.
yeah, so I technically played this game, but I don't think I've really played this game, and I need to. I we played it. The team played it recently on our live stream, and I watched the team play it, and I was like, I should play this game again. I should give it another shot, But yeah, so what do you think? Do you own this game?
Yes, I own this game. I've played it many times. There's even the artwork is such a core component of this game that there's different boxes based on the different artwork. And I have the blue one with the face on it, which is really I love that as a concept. It doesn't make a difference to the game itself, but just neat little stuff like that is really what makes the hobby fun. So I own it. I would recommend it to anybody. But it's also one of those games where if someone said I played it and it fell flat, I can completely understand that happening too. So it's more of a niche game as opposed to a broader appeal. But if you like the components of it, if you like the artwork, and if you like push your luck, it's a really great game. And I think that most people that like those things would love it.
Yeah, I think the first print run of this game had multiple covers. I think subsequently they decided to stick with just one cover. So you might be able to find some strange covers out there, but most of them will be that one specific cover that I think I have in my head. But anyway, yeah, and you talk about it being a niche game, but it is definitely a niche that resonated with the people who submitted lists here, which is how it ended up at number 15 game of all time. So yeah, this is MrX's top 25 games of all time, and as always, it is a contest. So I run this contest every December. At the end of the month, I will pick a winner, and I will pick from people who have left a comment on the YouTube videos that we're putting out here. So leave a comment here in YouTube. Tell me what you think about Abyss. If you haven't played Abyss or you have no thoughts on Abyss, tell me what your favorite nautical themed game of all time is. But anyway, to join us tomorrow, December 12th, we'll be putting out, talking about game number 14 on the list. But until then, I'm Steven. That's John. We're from Just Got Played, and thanks for joining us.